Star Wars. Unless you've been hiding under a rock recently, it'd be hard not to know about Star Wars. After several years since Star Wars Battlefront 2 was released, fans have been eagerly expecting a follow-up. At long last, after several announcements, EA have finally released the latest Star Wars Battlefront game. Though, after the long wait, was it everything fans had hoped for? This is Nathan and Craig for a C&NOnline review. Unlike previous Battlefront games, Star Wars Battlefront does not include a single player mode, though there are a few missions which are able to be played on single player. Whilst these are more tutorials, they're really enjoyable and give you credits for completing them. On mission mode you have training, battles and survival which you're able to play. Training missions teach you the basics of ground and air vehicles, heroes and soldiers. Playing these missions you'll be able to get a general gist of the game, rewarding you in credits depending on how well you perform. Battles allow you to fight a friend or AI to get the most kills within a set period of time. Finally, survival. Doing exactly what it says on the box, your task is to survive for a set period of rounds. This is incredibly fun, whilst challenging, and it's definitely recommended to bring a buddy along for this one. Whilst these modes can be played online, we should mention that you can play locally with split screen, an excellent addition to the game. The main bulk of the game though is multiplayer, as you can probably expect. There are several modes in Star Wars Battlefront, including a new free mode which was released shortly after the launch. Playable as of this review is Supremacy, Walker Assault, Fighter Squadron, Blast, Cargo, Drop Zone, Droid Run, Hero Hunt, Heroes vs Villains, and Turning Point. So that's 9 game modes that ship with the game at launch, and one released shortly after, bringing us to a total of 10 game modes. Whilst we can assume that the season passes will grant us more modes, 10 game modes is a nice selection, with all of them being different enough from one another to feel unique. So let's take a look at what each game mode offers.
Supremacy has 40 players fight each other out to drive the opposite team off the planet. It's a fun game mode which allows for vehicles and heroes to enter the fray. Walker Assault is one of the more advertised game modes. Within this mode, 40 players must fight on the selected planets, such as Hoth, while rebels defend their base and try to deter the AT-STs. The Imperial forces must ensure their attack goes to plan. Including X-Wings, AT-ATs and heroes to name a few, this mode is intense. Fighter Squad is a 20-player mode where you're solely in vehicles. Blast is your typical team deathmatch. 20 players must fight out, the team with the most kills wins. Cargo is a mode where 12 players must fight in teams to steal the opposing team's cargo. If your team has the most cargo at the end of the match, your team wins. Drop Zone, a mode featured in the game's open beta, is a 16-player mode in which teams must secure the most drop pods to win. It can be a fast-paced mode or last quite a while, depending on how well your team works together. Droid Run is another 12-player mode where the players must capture and hold 3 droids, but the catch is they are moving. A unique mode, Hero Hunt, is an 8-player mode where one hero must face enemies. If you are the lucky person to land the killing blow on the hero, you then become the hero. The aim of the game is to get the most points. Can you handle the challenge? Heroes vs Villains is exactly what it says. Each team has either 3 heroes or 3 villains, with the rest of the team being filled in with soldiers. Each team has 6 players, and to win a round the opposing team's heroes or villains must be defeated. Finally, the all-new game mode, Turning Point, is a new 40-player mode based on Jakku. For those who have seen the film, this map is the events prior to how we see Jakku in The Force Awakens. In this mode there are several control points, which must be captured. Whoever captures them all wins the game. It's an incredible fun game mode. With such an open map, you can't predict at any point who will win.
So the game modes all sound great, you might be thinking, but how does the game play out? It's really simple. When in game you'll be selected as either a rebel or Imperial soldier. You're able to choose which gun you load out with, as well as which skin you load out with too. Skins are purchasable with credits, which we'll get onto in a little bit. When you load out, you're also allowed a hand of cards. A hand of cards compromises of 2 power-up cards, for example jetpacks, grenades, etc. A perk card, for example bombs do double damage or a shot is more explosive. And a trait card. Power-up cards allow you to have a temporary power-up, which will cool down and be reusable within a set period of time. Perks are used with charges. These can be found around the map or can be bought using credits. A perk will only last as long as it states when purchasing, similar to a cooldown period. Trait cards, available later on in the game, offer players special benefits. They come in 3 levels, and to upgrade this card to an extra level you must perform kill streaks. After a certain amount of kills you'll move up a level. For example, the Bounty Hunter trait, level 1 allows you to have a small chance of getting a power up from a kill, level 2 increases that chance, and level 3 makes it very likely whilst resetting your weapon cooldown every single time you get a kill.
All of the cards can be upgraded once, becoming black cards. The iron grenade, for example, has a 16-second cooldown period. If you upgrade the card to a black card, you only have a 12-second cooldown period. This gives you the upper hand in battle, so think carefully before upgrading as it is fairly pricey. So they've been discussed earlier, but let's talk a little more about credits. Credits are the currency within Star Wars Battlefront, and you can earn them in several ways. Completing missions will give you credits, playing the companion app will give you credits, and playing online will give you credits. Online you will get more credits depending on how well you did, how many people you killed, etc. Obtaining credits can be easy with small objectives being given to players. You will have free objectives at any one time, such as kill 75 enemies with a heavy weapon, and if you complete this you will get extra credits after it is carried out. Usually these are easy to perform, though sometimes you can get some tricky ones. If you aren't sure you can complete it, you are able to pay some credits to give you a new objective. You won't find yourself without credits for long, though always think twice before you spend them, as you want to spend credits on cards you know will suit your gameplay.
The card system is an excellent way for each player to support their own gameplay. With the ability to use your partner's card in battle, it's great to see how other people play. Battlefront plays out like any other first-person shooter. R2 fires, L2 looks down the sights, and L1 and R1 are power-ups. You're able to play in third person if you so desire, and personally this is our favourite way to play Battlefront. Our biggest complaint about the multiplayer is the matchmaking. Sometimes you'll be paired with level 40 players whilst you're under level 10, meaning that they have more power-ups and upgrades. This leads you to having a much tougher time at fighting enemies and can sometimes leave you feeling disappointed. The game may feel lacking in its map department too, with only 5 maps available, such as Hoth and Endor to name a few. Whilst the game modes are varied, it would be nice to see more maps, as the game can feel very samey otherwise. Apart from this, Battlefront is a solid multiplayer experience.
The soundtrack, whilst being a mix of DICE's original score and John Williams's, sounds great. From the menu screens through to the end of the matches, you'll feel drawn into the world from its excellent soundtrack and sound effects. That's right, every attention to detail has been given to this game, with everything from blaster shots to soundtrack sounds brilliant.
Graphically, Star Wars looks incredible. From the grassy forests of Endor to the dusty sands of Jakku, everything pops out and looks realistic and believable in the Star Wars universe.
Well, let's take a look now at the positives and negatives. Positives: a nice selection of different game modes, visually stunning and great card system allowing customizable layouts. Negatives: lack of maps, at least before the season pass has been released, and the matchmaking system is quite poor, putting you with players a lot higher level than you. This sometimes ruins matches.
Star Wars Battlefront brilliantly captures the feel of the Star Wars universe, allowing us to feel as if we're fighting from a scene in the movies. Comprising of a solid selection of 10 different game modes, there's a ton of variety for each match you'll play. Whilst there are only 5 maps available and the matchmaking can be quite poor when you're matched with high level players, the game looks visually stunning and has a great card loadout system. If you're a fan of first person shooters, this game will be incredibly enjoyable, and if you're a fan of Star Wars 2, you owe it to yourself to pick up this game. With the season pass releasing soon, there can only be more great content coming in its way. For all these reasons, Star Wars Battlefront gets a C&NOnline score of 4 out of 5.
Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to leave a comment down below and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. This is C&NOnline signing off.
Insignificant rebellion.
Soldiers of the Rebel Alliance, this is our most desperate hour.